in many African countries, and this is not only true of South Sudan. I see it in Zimbabwe, I see it to as limited extent in Namibia, I see it in South Africa. Freedom fighters think that the country owes them. And for that reason, they don't want to be questioned. They say, where were you when we were suffering in the bush? And it's very few of them who succeed in saying, we did our bit and we can therefore hand over the baton to another generation. One prays and hopes that President Kiir and Vice President Riak Machar and their other comrades in arms will see the wisdom of creating a new generation of South Sudanese who will not have the entitlement that the liberation fighters normally have, because good and sound leadership not only demands but requires that we have a long-term view of the country. That is why the Chinese are now conquering the world economically, because the Chinese plan for 100 years. They don't plan for the next election. The South Koreans are the same. The Vietnamese after the war are the same. The Japanese after the World War II are the same. Unfortunately, in many African countries, we think on a short-term basis, and we are obsessed with elections and its outcome.
I would like to appreciate this well and eloquent speech from Professor. I duly appreciate all what you said about Africa, especially emphasizing on South Sudan's situation, the leadership crisis and the constitutional crisis that is in place has been well emphasized and enumerated. Actually, what Prof just said is that many African leaders are avarice and obsessed with gaining filthy wealth through looting the national resources for selfish gains. Professor Lumumba articulated very well that the challenge is that the freedom fighters will think that they are owing to the country as they try to compensate for the struggles that they encountered in the freedom fighting process. So they basically switch sides from being revolutionaries and they turn to opportunists